Tonight, an alleged Halloween terror attack stopped. The FBI arresting multiple suspects, fearing they were plotting a violent Halloween weekend attack. Federal agents setting off flashbangs and storming inside a Michigan home, their guns drawn. The suspects accused of a terror plot targeting what they call Pumpkin Day. Why investigators say they are connected to ISIS. Dangerous drop. The moment a JetBlue flight suddenly plunged, more than a dozen passengers rushed to the hospital. We will hear from those on board. Center of destruction. Our team making it to the hardest hit part of Jamaica. The hospital there now operating without a roof. Catastrophic devastation as far as you can see. The death toll tonight only growing. Fear and confusion tonight. The long lines at food banks stretching for blocks. Millions of families could lose government food assistance within hours. What President Trump just said about funding the program. Out of control, the fire raging through an Alabama neighborhood. Nearly 20 people now out of their homes. The armed suspects chasing the young girl in this video now under arrest. Most of them teens themselves, taken down after holding another family at gunpoint. The NBA superstar's home reportedly broken into while he was playing in a game. Could it be linked to other high-profile athletes who have been robbed? Moment of impact, a fast-moving train plowing into a massive truck, debris exploding into the air. And the hilarious moment going viral, a giant inflatable pumpkin coming loose and causing some Halloween havoc. Nightly News starts right now.
This is NBC Nightly News with Tom Yamas.
Good evening. I'm Peter Alexander in for Tom tonight as millions of trick-or-treaters and party-goers head out for the Halloween. The FBI says its agents just thwarted what Director Kash Patel calls a potential terror attack in Michigan. Tonight, at least 5 people have been arrested. The dramatic early morning raid caught on camera.
There you go.
You can hear those sounds. Those are the flash bangs, stun grenades used to temporarily disorient the suspects inside. Then there you can see the agents, guns drawn as they move in. Tonight, multiple senior law enforcement officials tell NBC News the alleged plot is connected to ISIS. Our team is learning new details about the alleged threat and why federal investigators took action now. We begin with NBC's Shaquille Brewster in Michigan.
Tonight, an alleged Halloween terror attack foiled. FBI agents yelling in Arabic, "This is the FBI," warning residents of this home that they have a warrant and to come out.
There they go.
Video showing the agents using flashbangs, then storming into the house in Dearborn, Michigan.
It's pretty scary because we have a lot of relatives around this neighborhood.
FBI Director Kash Patel announcing the raids on social media, writing the FBI stopped a potential terrorist attack before it could unfold, calling it a violent plot tied to international terrorism. 5 young individuals were taken into custody involving a plot to conduct an attack in the U.S. that has a connection to ISIS. 3 senior law enforcement officials tell NBC News, saying the suspects had discussed carrying out some sort of terror attack around Halloween, or what they allegedly referred to as Pumpkin Day. Agents seen searching through the homes. Hours later, and we're still seeing agents walking in and out of that home, sometimes walking out with items and loading them into vehicles. The suspects are naturalized citizens from a Middle Eastern country who had access to firearms and firearm training. 2 senior law enforcement officials briefed on the investigation tell NBC News.
Do you know the people who were in that house?
Yeah, friendly neighbors, good neighbors of ours. Nothing that I could speculate on them.
President Trump weighing in on the investigation this afternoon.
We're catching people before they ever start.
As Michigan's Attorney General expressed relief.
I can just say that I'm very, very grateful for the FBI's work in protecting the community and keeping people safe.
And Shaquille Brewster joins us now from Dearborn. Shaq, you have new reporting this evening about how long the FBI was tracking these suspects?
Yeah, Peter, at least for the past couple of days, senior law enforcement officials telling NBC News that there's indication to believe that some of these suspects may have been radicalized online. Meanwhile, on this Halloween evening, both local and federal law enforcement saying tonight that there is no current threat to the public. Peter?
Shaquille Brewster there in Dearborn, Michigan. Jack, we appreciate it. Tonight, federal investigators are looking into what caused a JetBlue flight to suddenly drop at 35,000 feet. The move so sudden, the plane had to make an emergency landing. More than a dozen people raced to the hospital for their injuries. Here's NBC's Tom Costello.
It happened on JetBlue Flight 1230 over the Gulf of Mexico.
We felt like we were free-falling for a second.
The pilot reporting he had injured passengers and crew members and needed to divert to Tampa.
We have a flight control issue, and we've got at least 3 people injured. Seems like maybe a laceration in the head.
Once on the ground, Tampa firefighters took 15 to 20 people to a local hospital, some who'd hit their heads on the ceiling when the plane suddenly dropped at 35,000 feet.
People went flying through the cabin, and food and drinks also went flying through the cabin. I think some people really seriously hit their heads on the ceiling.
In a statement, JetBlue says it's taken the aircraft out of service for inspection and will conduct a full investigation to determine the cause. Aviation sources say the focus is on whether a problem with a wing flap caused the plane to suddenly pitch up and down.
This could have been a problem with the autopilot system where the airplane descended very rapidly and unexpectedly.
Meanwhile, the FAA also investigating a very close call at Boston Logan on Thursday, when controllers cleared a small Cape Air flight to take off from an intersecting runway, just as a Delta flight was about to land, ordering the Delta flight to go around and Cape Air to fly low to avoid a collision.
Go low. Going low. What the heck? That was close. Yeah, man. Not cool.
And Tom, now amid this prolonged government shutdown, we are seeing more flight delays and ground stops at airports again tonight.
Yeah, that's right. Up to 2 hours long in some cases, mostly in the Northeast. Nearly 5,000 delays and counting due to heavy wind, but also the ongoing controller shortage and the government shutdown, and expected to continue through the weekend, Peter.
All right, Tom, we appreciate it very much. There is new confusion tonight for the millions of Americans set to lose their food assistance within hours because of that government shutdown, forcing many to go to food banks for the first time ever. Late tonight, President Trump weighed in. Here is Liz Kreutz.
Tonight, from Arizona to Florida, long lines at food banks, a sign of the fear and confusion facing the 42 million people at risk of losing federal food assistance. The Trump administration had said funding for SNAP benefits would run out tomorrow because of the government shutdown. But today, a federal judge now ruling the administration must continue to pay for the food aid program using contingency funds as soon as possible. How fast that can happen is unclear, and so millions, like the Leal family, remain stuck in limbo.
What can we say? It's unfair what they're doing. Very unfair.
Jocelyn and Jose waited more than an hour in 90-degree heat at this Los Angeles Salvation Army for a few boxes of food for them and their 5 children, including their 10-month-old twins. The couple says Jose's work as a contractor has been slow and that Jocelyn wants to go back to work, but they can't afford childcare. And so they rely heavily on the $750 a month they get in SNAP benefits.
How frustrating is all of this?
Highly frustrating. It's like being in a hole and not being able to dig yourself out. They've been saying that the cost of groceries are going to go down, and from what we see, it's just going higher and higher.
And they're not alone. Many of the people we met in line this week said it was the first time they turned to a food bank for help.
We're shattering records that you don't want to shatter. We had 803 families all alone last week, and we're going to pass that.
Tonight, President Trump pointing fingers at Democrats.
When you're talking about SNAP, if you look, it's largely Democrats. They're hurting their own people.
But it's not that simple. The 5 states with the highest percentage of SNAP recipients are both blue and red.
Well, I think it's a disgrace. The USDA's never done this in the past. They said they have a contingency fund for precisely this moment.
For Jocelyn and her family,
it's a lot.
The impact is far greater than politics.
They should stop with excuses and actually do what's right. It's not that we want to be here. It's that we have to try and find a way for our kids. We have to find a way.
And Liz, late tonight, President Trump just weighed in on possible funding for the program.
Yeah, Peter, that's right. The president has just posted on Truth Social that he wants clarification from the court on how contingency funds can legally be used to cover SNAP benefits during the shutdown. He says if they can be, then he will provide the funding, but says even if that happens, payments will still be delayed for millions. Peter.
A lot of families watching and desperately waiting. Liz Kreutz, we appreciate it. You saw some of Kristen Welker's interview there with California Governor Gavin Newsom. Watch more of her interview this Sunday on Meet the Press. Now to that trail of destruction from Hurricane Melissa. Much of Jamaica remains in the dark, and tonight the death toll from this week's monster storm is climbing. Our George Solis made it to the hardest hit part of the island.
This is the view of Black River from the air. Utter destruction as far as the eye can see. For days, the coastal town was completely cut off, the road blocked by rubble and mud. Today, we found mangled debris lining the road. Portions are still flooded. When we finally reached Black River, everyone we met was desperate for help.
We need water, no water.
Donna Barnes told me the day Melissa hit was the worst day of her life.
Has help been able to get here on the ground?
No. No one come around and say no one.
Brianna Legister says she can't swim, and as the floodwaters rose, she had to find a way to float with her son to safety.
We don't have anything, everything washed out. We don't have any clothes for the baby. Everything gone, roof gone, house gone. We don't have nothing to sleep on.
Take a look at the devastation at the hospital here. The roof is completely gone. The windows of this ambulance blown out. And this is the wrecked children's ward, where several babies were being treated during the storm.
Here in Black River, residents are lining up for supplies, whatever they can get their hands on from a local pharmacy.
Officials say at least 19 people were killed in Jamaica during Melissa, bringing the storm's total death toll to at least 46 across the Caribbean. In Cuba today, more rescues after rain soaked a region already battered by Melissa. This man carried from his home on a soldier's shoulders. While back in Jamaica, officials promise more help is on the way. More relief flights are arriving each day. And despite significant damage to 2 terminals, Montego Bay's airport will begin commercial flights tomorrow. Very welcome news for stranded tourists.
The first caravan of relief is scheduled to arrive tomorrow as organizations and nonprofits mobilize to enter the hardest hit communities. For those living in these unimaginable conditions, that help can't come soon enough. Peter?
George Solis there in Jamaica for us. George, we appreciate it. Now to that chilling massacre, an attack on a maternity hospital, killing hundreds, all of it happening in Sudan. Tonight, Keir Simmons is in neighboring Egypt, where eyewitnesses are giving harrowing accounts and a warning some of the images in this report are disturbing.
Tonight, a horror unfolding in Sudan. These are Sudanese militia accused of mass killings. 460 people murdered in a maternity hospital, the World Health Organization says. Here, a man in civilian clothes pleads for his life. Seconds later, he is shot and executed. And the slaughter can even be seen from space. Satellite pictures of the besieged city of Al-Fasher show red stains in the sand and bodies strewn around. The atrocities carried out by the Rapid Support Forces, locked in Sudan's more than 2-year civil war against the army, and is happening in Darfur, site of a genocide 20 years ago. Here, a camera close-up of an RSF commander, Abu Lulu, as he shoots a line of people. The rebels say they later arrested him, but there's no independent verification. Many of the images so disturbing we cannot show them. And in a chilling account obtained by NBC News, an eyewitness describes civilians massacred. Shot in the head and heart, this man says. They ran over us with their vehicles. I was with my sisters and my female cousins. 2 of them were killed right there. Here in neighboring Egypt, we met Emmanuel Peter, who runs a charity.
People are being slaughtered, and these are innocent people.
He says a colleague's family was killed. She lost 4 of her brothers.
4 of the brothers, yes.
Tonight, thousands are trying to escape, as the UN warns 130,000 children in the city of Al-Fasher are at risk of being kidnapped or killed. Peter?
A dire situation, only getting worse. Keir Simmons, thank you. It was a dramatic scene. Several armed suspects seen chasing a girl in an attempted home invasion. And tonight, police say they have made arrests in the case. Some of the accused are teenagers themselves. Here's NBC's Camila Bernal.
Terrifying surveillance video showing the moments police in Northern California say a girl spots armed suspects outside her home who suddenly run after her. Police say the girl got inside the house and told her family to call for help. The suspects running away.
I can't believe something like that happened in Union City. That is very scary.
Her quick thinking possibly stopping what police there called an attempted home invasion.
Proceed. All matching description.
The next day, 70 miles away,
All right, it is mobilized.
a chase that Modesto police say led to the arrest of the same suspects. Officers rushing in to stop another possible attempted home invasion. Get your hands up! 4 suspects accused of holding a family at gunpoint. 3 teens ages 14 to 17 and a 22-year-old taken into custody.
Get your hands up! Don't move!
Police recovering at least 1 weapon.
How crucial is the quick police action in a case like this?
I mean, it's a blue ribbon for Modesto PD. This was a tragedy, looking for an address, and Modesto PD put an end to it.
Camila Bernal, NBC News.
When we return in 60 seconds, he is an MVP and one of the biggest stars in the NBA. How thieves apparently broke into Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's home while he was in the middle of playing a game. Now to the NBA superstar targeted by thieves. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's home reportedly burglarized just as he was out on the court, leading his Oklahoma City Thunder team to victory. Here's Morgan Chesky.
Overnight, the NBA's reigning MVP, Oklahoma City Thunder star Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the latest pro athlete targeted by thieves. Nichols Hills police investigating a burglary at his home, according to K4 in Oklahoma City. Officers responding around 7:45 Thursday night, just as SGA was leading the Thunder to victory over the Washington Wizards. The break-in follows a spree of burglaries appearing to target professional athletes. Just weeks ago, authorities say the home of New Orleans Saints star Cam Jordan was struck while he was playing. In Kansas City late last year, Chiefs star Travis Kelce's home was also hit. The same thieves, authorities believe, struck Chiefs star Patrick Mahomes' house just one night prior.
It's frustrating. It's disappointing. I can't get into too many of the details.
Following the break-ins, the FBI warned these homes are targeted due to the perception they may have high-end goods. Federal prosecutors have previously charged migrant gangs from South America for burglaries of both NFL and NBA players, saying they use tools like Wi-Fi jammers to disable security cameras. Tonight, the 27-year-old husband and father who led his team to an NBA championship, the latest in an alarming trend.
And tonight, police say that any potential suspects had already fled by the time officers arrived. No arrests have been made. But tonight, authorities say they don't believe there's any active threat to the public there. Peter?
Morgan, thank you. When we return, the massive fire ripping through a neighborhood and displacing more than a dozen people. Back now with a frightening scene as a massive fire tore through a neighborhood in Alabama. Huge plumes of smoke pouring into the sky above Birmingham as firefighters there rush to put out the flames. The Red Cross tells our Birmingham station that at least 18 people have been displaced. Fortunately, no one was injured. Also tonight, a terrifying train crash near Amsterdam. You can see that big truck trying to cross the tracks when a high-speed passenger train slams into it, sending its entire load flying. Thousands of pairs, it turns out. The Dutch train operator ProRail says remarkably 5 people suffered only minor injuries in the crash and that they released the video to prevent a similar situation from happening again. And a rare spectacle in the skies above Wisconsin. That flash of light is a meteor caught on a police cruiser's dash cam. Stargazers say there were nearly 3 dozen so-called fireball meteors spotted that night in Minnesota and 70 more in Wisconsin. When we come back, the Great Pumpkin Getaway, the wild video that you're going to have to see. It's going viral of a mother almost carried away by her Halloween decorations. Finally, there's good news tonight about one mom who got a bit carried away with this year's Halloween decorations, quite literally. Emily Aketa shows us the entertaining result when one of those giant pumpkins was nearly gone with the wind.
This is the moment the Morgan family's docile Halloween decoration transformed into a runaway pumpkin, giving Mom Katie a spirited scare.
What was going through your mind at this point?
I thought it was going to take out the neighborhood, hit the cars. I was just thinking that I was going to be dealing with the aftermath of the catastrophic pumpkin going down the streets.
Her 4- and 7-year-olds also jumping into action, while Dad Chris witnessed the chaos unfold over their Ring camera.
Leopold, it's Dad. Can you hear me? Hey, buddy, unplug it.
Trying to calm the family, though to no avail. Leopold at one point tossing the phone.
I'm trying to put instructions over to the boys, and they're just so excited and screaming and laughing at the same time.
The video has racked up millions of views on social media. You can even see Katie's feet lift off the ground in her attempts to corral the billowing blow-up.
I was just hanging on to it, and I'm like, boys, if I take to the sky, make sure, just call Grandma.
After 12 minutes, Katie manages to wrangle the runaway by unzipping its sides, as little Lennon tries to capture the moment.
Let me just take a picture of you for one minute.
A memory they'll surely never forget.
Happy Halloween!
Emily Ikeda, NBC News.
That was almost like a scene from the movie Up. That's Nightly News for this Friday, Halloween. I'm Peter Alexander. I'll see you here tomorrow morning on Today. Have a good night.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.